All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below as usual. The title of this video is The Hypocrisy of Freedom. But before we get into that, I got a mic just in case I'm still talking too low. I wake up sometimes early talking low because I'm tired, and other times I'm talking loud and the audio on these videos winds up messed up. I don't know how this shit happens, but it happens. So, this is how I'm going to do it from now on. Talking louder and everything, even when I'm tired. Now, let's get into it. First and foremost, I think people have an issue with freedom. I think people have an issue with the idea that for some odd reason somebody gave you, another man or woman gave you freedom. Now, your parents gave you life. Your parents gifted you life. But freedom was already here. Nobody can give you freedom. I know people think about the things about this country. This country is a free country. Well, here's the thing. We had freedom of choice and the freedom to do right and wrong before this country existed. So to think that because you're in America, America gave you freedom is a little arrogant and presumptuous. What I mean by that is this. Because what it looks like is we have freedom. We have freedom to agree. We have freedom to disagree. That's not a government issue. You can't government. Here, the government just wrote this on a piece of paper. You are licensed to agree and disagree with people. And you are not. Whatever. You know, you have the freedom to speak your mind. You know, yes. The government wrote on a piece of paper that you can speak your mind and you cannot. No. You know, somebody said, well, in other countries, they don't have the freedom to speak out against injustices. No, in other countries, they have consequences for telling the truth. Just like there are consequences in this country for telling the truth. And the question shouldn't be if this person has your freedom or not. The question should be, why are you trying to kill people for telling the truth? I mean, because obviously it bothers somebody so bad that when they say this is my life experience, my reality, and how your thirst and hunger for whatever edifies your ego affects the people around you. And if you go, I can't take it, lock them up, something wrong with you. That's, you know, because you got to have the freedom, right? To think it's cool to get with other people to take their freedom. Now, I'm not talking about, you know, people who are criminal and behave like criminals. They should have their freedom taken away. You know, because freedom is a gift that everybody has worldwide. Now, with the problem, to me, that's the hypocrisy of freedom, is to say that when you express your freedoms that I disagree with, I'm free to try to get rid of you. Or I'm free to demonize you. Or spin who you are and what you are to my will so I can feel better. You're right, you're free to do that. Sucker move. But if you can dish it, you can take it. That's the other hypocrisy of freedom. See, freedom is I can dish out this, but I can't take it. See, just like somebody might say, you might lose your job if you say the wrong thing. Well, here's the thing. That would mean they would be taking away an occupation and a means to living, right? But that wouldn't take away my freedom. You know, if somebody's business says, "Hey, man, I can't," you're shining a bad light on my business, and you might be hurting my bottom line. So, chill that out, or chill out what you're doing in a certain way. That's understandable because business is a freedom, not necessarily correlated, but it is a difference when somebody says you can't speak your mind because if you do, I'll make it hard for you to live. See, that's a problem. Even if it's business owner or boss to employee, because it changes. See, if you're an employee and you can't speak your mind because you're scared you're going to get fired, but if your boss can speak their mind with no repercussion of getting fired, then that's obviously a hypocrisy. Just obviously, off top. And somebody could say, well, that's the golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rules. True. But see, here's the problem. And what I mean by, I think people are hypocrites when it comes to freedom in general. Part of the freedom that we talk about is the freedom to tip over somebody's apple cart. I'm free to do whatever I want. I'm going to tip over your apple cart. Because I'm free to do that because of my position, my status, how I feel about myself. But how dare you get upset and want to come tip over my apple cart? You're not free to do that. No. But yeah, you are. See, if you were born free to do whatever you want, people are born free to do whatever they want back to you. That's why, there are a code of conduct and laws and commandments, because there are certain things that you just shouldn't do. There's right and there's wrong. Now, for some of you Christians out there, I'll put before you life and death. You choose, right? That's freedom. That wasn't that was, people say they have their God-given rights. Freedom is a God-given right. When we talk about people using these flags and these protests as a way to say, soldiers are over there fighting for your freedom. No, they're not. No. Freedom is a God-given right. You're not fighting for my freedom here. Now, I know that might rub some people the wrong way, and what are we fighting for? Well, let's be honest about this. Did most soldiers go join the military to fight for freedom? No. Most soldiers joined the military because they needed a job. They needed more economic freedom, not God-given freedom. Now, is it a great thing that you got soldiers who and the trade-off is basically, to get more economic freedom, you have to be willing to risk your life and maybe die on the behalf of this country while in this military. That's the trade-off. And it's a calculated risk people take. That's why you see people who are middle class and upper class, their kids hardly ever go to the military because guess what? They don't care. They're financially more free than people who need a job. So, saying that, we're going to this country and that country. Does this country, does the government and the military free other people? Yes, they do. Yeah, they do. That's a fact. Do they also, how can I say this? Confine other people? Yeah, that too. The government and military also confines other countries' freedom. So while you're fighting for our freedom on one end, you're confining other people's freedom. While you're fighting for freedom when it's convenient for your gain. See what I'm saying? But the freedom itself is God-given. That's part of the reason why I call it hypocritical, because if I'm in a room and you're in a room, we're all on this planet together. One planet. We're all on this planet together. So if you divvy us up racially, gender, region, religion, economic status, all you have is people telling a person, I feel like I'm in a higher position than you, so I should deem your freedom worth less than mine. And you shouldn't be able to do anything about it because I deem myself better than you. Which is really asinine. Because who are you without the position feeling like you are more important than somebody else? A lot of people don't know. So to say that we live in a free country, that's hypocritical, because it's only free when you want it to be free for who you want to exhibit freedom. It's not freedom for everybody, and the crazy part about it is, if somebody's freedom makes you uncomfortable, you're free to move around. But you want to be free to the point where you can make everybody comfortable, and they need to stand right there and take it. And to me, that's hypocrisy. Very much so hypocritical. Some people may understand what I'm saying. Some people may disagree. Some people may feel like, he's saying too much that kind of makes sense. Whatever, but that's it. I'm out.